My name is Gareth Edwards. I'm the director of this new film called The Creator, and I'm in the best shop in the world.
My name is James Mottram, and I am the author of The Creator, making of book.
I am here ruining lots of merchandise for people by scribbling my name on it and lowering the price on eBay. I love behind the scenes making of books, and I genuinely would come to this store. I lived in London for like 15 years, and I'd come to this store, buy every single art of book, behind the scenes book, making of book that existed. It was so inspiring. And so we have given complete access to the authors and makers of this book about the creator, and hopefully it will inspire future filmmakers who wander into Forbidden Planet and want to make movies in their career.
Gareth couldn't have been more helpful. I started by interviewing him. That's not how I've done it in the past, where sometimes you build up to speaking to the director. You might speak to a production designer or a producer first, but this time I went straight in with Gareth. He gave me a brilliant breakdown of how that film came together. Then I went off and spoke to lots of other people, and then much later in the process came back and spoke to Gareth again, where we could go through all the gaps that I had. But yeah, it was a I wouldn't say easy process, because none of these books are easy, but I had everything that I could want basically, and people loved Gareth, they loved talking about the film, they all had an incredible experience making it, so it was a real pleasure to sort of have that kind of feedback from people.
I got very lucky with my first ever movie. I made a very low budget film that got me to do Godzilla and then Star Wars, and I was looking for a way to make a film that had all the advantages of having no money, because there are loads of advantages in that, and all the advantages of having a big epic blockbuster in the cinema. And so part of the approach was to use a prosumer camera very much like the one I'm being filmed with now. It was something you can just go buy from Dixon's or Curry's, I'm not sure what exists anymore, but at least it's just a prosumer about $4,000, $3,000 camera. And the reason we did that is just so that it's very lightweight, you can be very organic, you don't need all this peripheral stuff to support it. It can shoot in moonlight, it's very sensitive to light, so we didn't need massive light, so we could be very much more like we were with my first film, which we made for about 250 grand. And then suddenly everything becomes easy. You become the richest guerrilla film in history versus the poorest blockbuster movie.
You learn in the book very much how he and his collaborators went and enacted this idea of making a blockbuster not for these crazy prices that these films are made for now. In my sort of day-to-day work, I'm a film journalist, but you primarily just interview actors and directors. But here you get to speak to costume designers, production designers, producers, you know, the guys at Weta in New Zealand who worked on all the sort of props and things, the guys at ILM, you know, all different types of people that you don't normally speak to. So that was fantastic. You just begin to appreciate the effort that goes into making a film.
You will not see a sequel for The Creator, because I'm a massive fan of standalone movies. My favourite part of the film is the ending. It's like my favourite part of a joke is the punchline. Everything sort of works backwards from there, and so I didn't want this to feel like, I mean, as much as I love the world we created, and it hurts not to go back, this is a one-off movie. It's not setting up a franchise. That was kind of the films I grew up with. And then, you know, it's a high-class problem if it's loved enough that people come up and ask you for another one, but that is not part of the plan. The upside of not having a built-in fan base is massive, because you get to do anything you want. The downside is also massive, because you've got to then explain to people about the movie and do a lot. It's a lot harder to promote it and get people to understand what it is they're going to get. So yeah, pros and cons, but I want to carry on doing original films if I can. What does success mean? That's a very good question. I think, to be honest, my heroes, you're basically trying to emulate your heroes, and so you go, what did your heroes do for you? I mean, they did amazing things. I guess one thing they did was make my favourite films, and so if someone ever comes up to you like at a signing here and says one of your films is their favourite movie, then it feels like that's as successful as it gets, and that makes it all worthwhile. Everyone that came out to support the movie, the creator, today, and even at the cinemas, genuinely I want to say thank you very much. Trying to do an original film, even though it was very much inspired by a lot of the films that we all grew up loving, is very difficult to get off the ground, and so I do want to thank everyone who came and turned out. Hopefully, we'll see what happens, but hopefully I get to do it again.
It's been a real pleasure meeting you all. I really hope you enjoy the book, and yeah, see you again.
If you're enjoying watching Forbidden Planet TV and you're enjoying watching us talk to the world's most interesting and accomplished filmmakers, authors, artists, musicians, creators, subscribe right here. See you soon.